Margaret Mittelheuser was the first woman stockbroker in Australia and the best stockbroker anybody could ever want to have. She was just fantastic and a great pioneer for women in business, really a remarkable woman.
Margaret, when she retired in 2006, was one of the longest-serving stockbrokers in Australia. I think it was 55 years altogether. Our father was a cane grower, and we went to a local small two-teacher school. Margaret was very bright. When our mother went to collect her after her first day at school, the teacher just said to my mother, "What have you brought us?" She was astounded at all that Margaret could do as a little 4-year-old. That opportunity came when King & Newell asked her if she would open an office for them in Brisbane. This was a first in stockbroking and the first for a New South Wales broker to come to Brisbane. It was not altogether easy for a broker from Sydney to come to the patch of the Brisbane Stock Exchange. The Brisbane Stock Exchange had a firm rule that women were not allowed to buy seats on the Brisbane Stock Exchange. Margaret just thought it was ridiculous and took no notice of it. She felt that it had no impact on her. She carried out the work of a stockbroker and didn't need it. She didn't oppose it in any way. Then she was invited to Sydney to a board meeting of the partners. But the reason they wanted her to go to Sydney was that they had already proposed her to be a non-member partner of the Sydney of King & Newell with the Sydney Stock Exchange, and this had been non-member partnership had been established by the Sydney Stock Exchange to encourage young people who had the potential to become good stockbrokers, but who didn't have the funds to buy a seat. And so with Margaret going, that was extended to women. So Margaret was the first woman to be permitted to be a non-member partner. When Mr. Keith Newell retired, his son, Mr. Gordon Newell, also a broker and member of the firm, offered for Margaret to buy his seat, and she was very pleased about that. I think the fact that it had belonged to Mr. Ralph King meant probably even more to her than simply buying it from anyone. One of Margaret's sayings was, "Burning the candle at both ends makes the light shine brighter." She lived by it. She would give everything to her work. Margaret could be regarded as an entrepreneur in her business undertakings. Would have been in the 1980s, I'd say. Margaret went to London, and while she was in London, there were articles in the paper about the development of the oil fields by Norwegian companies. So she flew over to Oslo, went into the largest bank she could find, and asked to see the chief financial officer. And she said to him, "You should be investing in Australian stocks and shares." And when she returned to Brisbane, the orders started coming every night by fax, and her partners just couldn't believe the amount of business that she was generating. Margaret always encouraged her clients. She'd like to see them become comfortable financially for the rest of their life. Anything extra, she always encouraged her clients, and she certainly practiced to give it away. You don't need extra money. You should give it to those who are needy and less fortunate. And she always followed that. And I think various charities and organisations certainly benefit from it, not just from Margaret, but from her clients who had taken it on board. Margaret certainly valued integrity above all else, and she lived up to that throughout her life. She could not abide anything that was not right. Margaret was always a Queenslander. It meant a great deal to her. Of course, she was born in country Queensland, and it just meant so much to her. She was aware of the dominance of Sydney in the business world, and she felt that Brisbane had a great deal to offer, and that business in Brisbane was not appreciated as it should be. And she worked hard to see that it was, and it should not just be left to Sydney.
She was held in high regard throughout the country, I'd say, and she didn't suffer fools gladly. So you wanted to be sharp and on your toes when you were dealing with Margaret Mittelheuser, I can tell you.
Margaret could be regarded as an outstanding Queenslander for all she did for this state in stockbroking, in education, and also, I could say, in philanthropy.
I just wish she was still alive to deal with the stock exchange today. Who knows what to do? But Margaret would know.